Chanel number 5, floating on velvet, cutting through the heavy scent of leather and old books in Mark's study. Like an invasion, a slow, deliberate invasion. But Mark hadn't bought Elena this perfume. Betrayal always leaves a scent, and this one was unmistakable. Mark, 34 years old, Fintech software architect, Forbes under 40, self-made. He built his empire from a studio apartment and a laptop to corner offices overlooking Manhattan. When he married Elena, he lifted her from an ordinary life onto marble floors. Black card, unlimited budget, penthouse views, designer everything. He had only one rule: respect. Elena took this as trust. Mark saw it as an investment, a calculated, mutual investment. Business trips, Elena said. Paris, Milan, Dubai, London, Barcelona. Mark smiled as he checked the bank statements. Every expense, documented, every receipt, filed. Let her be happy, he thought. Let her enjoy the life I built. But the devil lives in the details. And Mark was a man who noticed every single detail. One evening, beside a cold espresso on his desk, its foam long dried, a single line caught his eye. $2,400. Penthouse Suites, New York City. Transaction date 3 weeks ago. Timestamp 11 p.m. Elena had never mentioned New York, not once, not in passing, not even a hint. Mark leaned back in his leather chair. The city lights below flickered like distant stars. He didn't feel anger, not yet. He felt curiosity, the kind of curiosity that precedes discovery. Mark didn't yell, didn't ask, didn't confront, because a software engineer trusts data, not emotions, not assumptions. Data doesn't lie. There was an app on Elena's phone she didn't know about. Mark had installed it 2 years ago for family security. Location tracking, emergency contact, standard features for any concerned husband. How ironic that it would serve a very different purpose. GPS coordinates: Manhattan, Upper East Side, 74th Street. Mark spent the entire night collecting data, nothing but the sound of his keyboard, clicking in the darkness, bank transactions, cross-referenced with dates, Uber records, matched to locations, hotel reservations, linked to credit card statements. Each data point, a puzzle piece, each piece revealing a larger picture. 47 nights, $50,000, all in one penthouse, all with the same man, all while Mark was supposedly at late-night meetings, supposedly working on deals, supposedly building their future. The patterns were elegant, almost admirable. Every time Mark had a business dinner, Elena had an evening with friends. Every time Mark traveled for a conference, Elena had a spa weekend. The coordination was flawless, the deception systematic. When Mark opened the final photograph, downloaded from a cloud storage Elena thought was private, he didn't even change his breathing. Elena, in a man's arms, champagne glasses on a marble counter, floor-to-ceiling windows behind them, a familiar face, a familiar smile, a face Mark had seen across conference tables, across investor meetings, across battlefields. And in that moment, Mark understood. This wasn't just betrayal. This was sabotage, strategic, intentional, professional, because that man, David Chen, CEO of Tech Rival Corp, Mark's biggest competitor. Last year, after Mark presented a revolutionary blockchain project to venture capitalists, David pitched almost the same idea, same framework, same investors. 2 weeks later, Mark had dismissed it as coincidence. Industrial espionage happens. Ideas leak. But now, he understood. Elena wasn't just a wife. She was a bridge, an intelligence asset, a deliberate, calculated weapon. Mark looked at his reflection in the dark window. The city stretched behind him. Infinite, indifferent. Some mirrors, don't just show your face, they show your plans, your vulnerabilities, your blind spots. He had been blind, but not anymore. When Elena came home, she arrived with shopping bags, designer logos, tissue paper, smiling that perfect smile. The smile Mark used to love. "Baby, I'm back. Paris was amazing." She dropped her keys in the bowl by the door. That little ceramic bowl they'd bought together in Santorini, their honeymoon, a lifetime ago. Mark was waiting for her, standing by the window in the living room, a glass of whiskey in his hand, amber liquid catching the light, the sound of ice turning in the glass, the only sound in the room, slow, methodical, like a countdown. "Elena, sit down." His voice wasn't angry, wasn't broken, just empty. The kind of empty that comes after something dies. Elena's smile froze. Confusion flickered across her face. Then, something else. Recognition. Fear. The shopping bags fell to the floor. The rustle of satin fabric echoed like a gunshot. In the silence, loud, final, irreversible. "Mark, what's wrong?" Her voice, almost convincing. Almost. But Mark had spent 47 nights studying her lies. He knew every inflection, every tell, every calculated pause. In that moment, Elena didn't know. But her life was already over. The verdict had already been delivered. The execution was merely procedural. Mark didn't yell at her, didn't even accuse her. He just turned his laptop around, slowly, deliberately, like revealing a masterpiece. An open email draft on the screen. The subject line: "The truth about Elena Morrison and David Chen." The recipient list was long, methodical, comprehensive. Elena's boss at the marketing firm, her father, the retired judge, her mother, the socialite, her sister, her book club, their mutual friend group, the board members of her charity foundation, and at the bottom, David Chen's wife, Amanda, mother of two, unaware, just like Mark had been. 47 nights, $50,000, every document, every photograph, every lie, all in attached files, timestamps, GPS coordinates, hotel receipts, text messages, recovered from cloud backups. Everything organized, categorized, irrefutable. Elena's hand went to her mouth. Her breath stopped. Her eyes, scanning the screen, growing wider, wider, wider with each name she recognized. "Mark, please. When I think about what you did to me, it's very easy." His voice, still calm, still empty, like reading a terms and conditions agreement. Factual, dispassionate, final. Mark's finger hovered over the send button for 1 second. A digital guillotine about to fall. 47 lives about to change. 2 reputations about to crumble. 1 marriage about to end, and another about to explode. Click. Email sent. 47 recipients. 47 detonations. 47 verdicts. The dominoes began to fall. Elena's phone vibrated violently, once, twice, 3 times, then continuously. 1 message, then another message, then a call, then 5 calls, then 10. Message from her boss. "Office, now." Call from her mother. Declined. Another call. Declined. Message from David Chen's wife. "You destroyed my family." Message from her father. "How could you?" Message from her sister. 3 question marks. Nothing else. Just 3 question marks. Her Instagram refreshed on her laptop screen, follower count dropping in real time. Hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands. Comments flooding in, private messages exploding. Her carefully curated life disintegrating, pixel by pixel. Elena was on the floor, on her knees. Tears weren't flowing because shock still gripped her body, paralyzing, absolute, complete. Her phone kept vibrating, buzzing against the hardwood floor, like a dying insect. Mark stood by the window, looking at the city, sipping his whiskey. The ice, nearly melted now. I froze your bank accounts, canceled your credit cards, changed the locks on this apartment. It's in my name. My lawyer will send divorce papers in the morning. You have 24 hours to collect your personal items. After that, security won't let you in. He took another sip, slow, savoring it. The taste of resolution. And David's company will lose its biggest investor tomorrow. My investor, Gerald Whitmore. I sent him your relationship with David, the photographs, the timeline, but I also attached documents showing David used your bank account for money laundering into his company. Falsified documents? Yes, but very, very convincing ones. Gerald doesn't wait for investigations. He acts on principle. Elena lifted her head, her perfectly styled hair now disheveled. Her eyes widened in horror, in understanding, in the realization that this wasn't just revenge. This was annihilation. But that's that's not real. Mark looked at her for the first time. Really looked at her. Nothing on his face. No anger, no sadness, no regret. Just nothing. Does it matter anymore? Your truth. My truth. David's truth. None of it matters. Only the story matters. And right now, 47 people are reading my story. He finished his whiskey, set the glass down. The sound, final. Goodbye, Elena. Betrayal happens in an instant. A kiss, a lie, a choice. But justice is a strategy, planned, calculated, executed with precision. Elena loved luxury, fame, social status, the life everyone envied. She loved being the woman everyone wanted to be. The envy in their eyes, the admiration, the power. But she forgot one thing. Luxury isn't a gift. It's a privilege, and privileges can be revoked. Instantly, permanently, completely. Sometimes, the greatest destruction doesn't come from a weapon. It doesn't come from violence. It doesn't come from rage. It comes from an enter key, from data, from strategy. Mark didn't destroy Elena's life in anger. He dismantled it, like code, methodically, line by line, function by function, until nothing remained. Vesper Noir, where secrets come to light, where betrayal meets its architect, and justice has never felt this smooth, this calculated, this perfect. Justice never felt so smooth.